As the successor to the Porsche 356, the 91120 Coupé from 1965 won the hearts of sports car enthusiasts from the outset. The prototype was first unveiled at the Frankfurt IAA Motor Show in 1963 as the 901, and was renamed the 911 for its market launch in 1964. Its air-cooled six-cylinder flat engine with 2-litre displacement delivered 130 horsepower, giving it an impressive top speed of 210 km/h. If you wanted to take things a little slower, you could also opt for the 4-cylinder Porsche 912 from 1965. In 1966, Porsche presented the 160 horsepower 911S, which was the first to feature forged alloy wheels from Fuchs. The 911 Targa, with its distinctive stainless steel rollover bar, made its debut in late 1966 as the world's first ever safety cabriolet. The semi-automatic Sportomatic 4-speed transmission joined the lineup in 1967. And with the 911T, and the later E and S variants, Porsche became the first German manufacturer to comply with strict US exhaust emission control regulations. The Porsche 911 became more and more powerful as displacement increased. 911 Carrera 2.7 Coupé from 1973. A bestseller goes into production. 10 years after its premiere, the engineers at Porsche gave the 911 its first thorough makeover. The G model was produced from 1973 to 1989, longer than any other 911 generation. It featured prominent bellows bumpers, an innovation designed to meet the latest crash test standards in the United States. Occupant protection was further improved by 3-point safety belts as standard equipment, as well as integrated headrests. One of the most important milestones in the 911 saga was the 1974 unveiling of the first Porsche 911 Turbo with a 3-litre 260 horsepower engine and enormous rear spoiler. With its unique blend of luxury and performance, the Turbo became synonymous with the Porsche mystique. The next performance jump came in 1977 with the 911 Turbo 3.3 equipped with charge air cooler. At 300 horsepower it was the best in its class. In 1983, the naturally aspirated 911 Carrera superseded the SC. (911 Carrera 4 3.6 Coupé from 1989). Just when automotive experts were predicting the imminent end of an era, in 1988 Porsche came out with the 911 Carrera 4. After 15 years of production, the 911 platform was radically revised with 85% new components, giving Porsche a modern and sustainable vehicle. Its air-cooled 3.6-litre flat engine delivered 250 horsepower. Externally, the 964 differed only slightly from its predecessors, in its aerodynamic polyurethane bumpers and automatically extending rear spoiler, but technically it was almost entirely different. The new model was designed to captivate drivers, not only with sporty performance but also with enhanced comfort. It came with ABS, Tektronix, power steering and airbags, and rode on a completely redesigned chassis with light alloy control arms and coil springs instead of the previous torsion bar suspension. A revolutionary member of the new 911 line right from the start was the all-wheel drive Carrera 4 model. The rear-wheel drive Carrera 2 came on the market just 6 months later. .911 Carrera 3.6 Coupé from 1993. The 911 with the internal design number 993 remains the one true love of many a Porsche driver. The remarkably pleasing design has much to do with this. The integrated bumpers underscore the smooth elegance of its styling. The front section is lower slung than on the earlier models, made possible by a switch from round to polyellipsoidal headlights. The 993 quickly gained a reputation for exceptional dependability and reliability. It was also agile, as the first 911 with a newly designed aluminium chassis. The turbo version was the first to have a biturbo engine, giving it the lowest emission standard automotive powertrain in the world in 1995. The hollow-spoke aluminium wheels, never before used on any car, were yet another innovation of the all-wheel drive turbo version. The Porsche 911 GT2 was aimed at the sports car purist who cherished the thrill of high speeds. An electric glass roof that slid under the rear window was one of the innovations of the 911 Targa. But the real reason why dyed-in-the-wool Porsche enthusiasts still revere the 993 is that this model, produced from 1993 to 1998, was the last 911 with an air-cooled engine. .911 Carrera 3.4 Coupé from 1997. The 996, which rolled off the assembly line from 1997 to 2005, represented a major turning point in the history of the 911. It retained all the character of its classic heritage, but was an entirely new car. This comprehensively redesigned generation was the first to be driven by a water-cooled flat engine. Thanks to its 4-valve cylinder heads, it achieved 300 horsepower and broke new ground in terms of reduced emissions, noise, and fuel consumption. The exterior design was a reinterpretation of the 911's classic line, but with a lower drag coefficient (CD) value of 0.30. The lines of the 996 were also a result of component sharing with Porsche's successful Boxster model. Its most obvious exterior feature were the headlights with integrated direction indicators, at first controversial but later copied by many other manufacturers. On the inside, drivers experienced an entirely new cockpit. Driving comfort now also played a greater role alongside the typical sporty characteristics. With the 996, Porsche launched an unprecedented product offensive with a whole series of new variations. 911 Carrera 3.4 Coupé from 2011, internally known as the 991, this sports car embodied the greatest engineering leap in the history of the 911. For generations the benchmark in its class, this 911 generation set the bar yet another notch higher in terms both of performance and efficiency. A completely new chassis with modified wheelbase, greater track width and beefier tires, plus an ergonomically optimized interior produced an even sportier and more comfortable driving sensation. In engineering terms, this 911 was all about Porsche intelligent performance, even lower fuel consumption and even more power, created, for instance, by reducing the engine size to 3.4 litres on the base Carrera model, yet still delivering 5 horsepower more than the 997, and using a hybrid construction method, steel and aluminium, which led to a considerable reduction in weight. Also new, Porsche dynamic chassis control and the manual 7-speed transmission. The design of the 991 likewise met with high critical acclaim. With its low, stretched silhouette, its bristling surfaces and precisely shaped details, the Porsche 911 Carrera, in the 7th generation as before, continued to be unmistakably a 911 and was thus once more setting new standards in automotive design.
Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Subscribe to Auto TV.